Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another sensational TV broadcast. We are live from Phillip Island, the Whit Sundays from Timu, as the Victorians like to call it. It's a place where coastline meets chaos, where beauty and danger share the same postcode. The cliffs stand silent, the bass trade howls across the circuit, and every racer who arrives here knows history lives in the asphalt. This track has delivered moments that you will never forget. The touring car epics of the 70s and 80s, when the island chewed through tyres faster than Chris Munro chews through a kebab at 3 a.m. The famous MotoGP duels, open wheels dancing on the limit with the sea spray cutting across their lines, to legendary race runs in the endurance style in the 90s, where fuel, rubber and raw nerve decided everything in those final laps. We've seen cars go side by side through the Doohan corner when logic said single file. We've watched bold passes at MG corner that make or break careers. And down the Gardner Straight, well, there's drafts, there's dives, heartbreaks at over 280 kilometres an hour. It's not chaos though, it's character. Phillip Island doesn't care who you are though, or what you've done. The wind will push you down, the camber will test you, and the sheer speed will test the ticker. Respect is earned here, one corner at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't just a racetrack. This is a test of courage tonight. This is Aussie Sim Racing, and this is Sensational TV.
Oh, yes. Clap us in, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeedy. Strap on your feed bag onto your ears, folks. Prepare for a full throttle serve of digital ding-dongery, because it's the Aussie Sim Racing GT3 Challenge. We're back for another round of high-octane handbag swinging. We've got the blokes diving into turn one like they're late for a schooner shout. Cars worth more than your cousin's house in Noosa. And I tell you what, one competitor still racing with a steering wheel clamped to a camping table from the 1984. Don't worry about that. It's prestige, it's pandemonium. It's pixel-based peril at its finest. Anyhow, joining me in the commentary gondola tonight is Zach O'Reilly, the only Australian ever ejected from a Westfield food court for trying to auction off a churros mid-bite. This is a man who once responded to jury duty with a PowerPoint presentation on why pigeons are technically sky wombats, and a man who confidently attends family functions under 3 different aliases just because he likes to keep the in-laws guessing. He's been barred from 2 aquariums for asking if the stingrays are available in takeaway tubs. So grab your snacks, ladies and gentlemen, grab your sanity, and possibly a priest, because Zach and I are about to call this thing like it owes us money. Zach O'Reilly, welcome to the commentary box. What has caught your eye this week in the world of sport, motorsport, life, and other things?
Well, thank you very much there, Christopher. And this whole introduction is just getting more alleged actions by the week to give you the hot tip. But in terms of what's happened this week, mate, it's been a big week in motorsport. We've had Bathurst, as we've all seen. Everyone here in Australia knows about it. The world probably knows about it. We all know what the controversy is there. Not going to dive into that. But I tell you what, it's heating up in the F1 world at the moment. Boy, oh boy, there is a claim out there by Red Bull that Piastri could be heading their way. It's one of those things where it could go anywhere. Fox Sports reported that Ralf Schumacher has poured some fuel on that fire, suggesting that Piastri could move to Red Bull at some stage. About the terms and conditions if Verstappen leaves the team. So we don't know what's happening with Verstappen there either. But Piastri has also been noted saying that he's over and fed up with it. You can hear him on the team radio. And the growing calls have been there for him to leave McLaren and join another team, because the 24-year-old here is, even though he's signed a multi-year deal at McLaren, they do not give a rat's toss bag. I'll give you the hot tip there with Mark Webber managing him. So that's interesting there too. So keep your eye out for that. That's what's caught my eye. But what caught my eye second most was Lance Stroll at the end of last round's GP at Singapore. His post-race interviews are something to just behold in terms of it's not, the old saying, it's not about the questions you're asked, It's about the answers you give, and he's the king of them. He does not give a toss. He was asked about his qualifying pace and how is it possible that you can just keep moving it on into the racing form and actually become a decent racer, in other words. And his response to that was, well, I'll just keep on trying. Wordsmith, absolutely wordsmith. But what's got me most revved up for the motorsport, Chris, final point for me, is that one man on track tonight, you've noticed him winning some races this season. In fact, he's won 3 out of 4 so far that were broadcast. The criminal, we call him, Luke Fallon, his Spotify playlist was just top 5 of every single track this week. Was something to do with 3 hours of white noise in a row.
There you go. Maybe a little bit of trouble in the old sleep department, perhaps, or just an absolute weapon and listens to white noise while he's driving around in the car, perhaps.
Yeah, probably. But if he's having trouble sleeping, it's probably because he's leading the championship here at the moment, as you can see there on the screen, Chris. And that is a very, very tight-looking championship there indeed. Yeah,
1 point separate the top 2 there between Fallon and Smith, and they have been the 2 titans of the last 2 rounds as well, going head-to-head and giving us all a show for our money as well. So hopefully that can continue tonight. Greg Cook, the old chef, cooking up a third spot position there as well, only 11 points shy there of Dan Smith. Then we've got Beef and Bacon, we've got Junior Hamilton, we've got Eccleston. What's his first name? I've forgotten it. But Smith, old Bernie there in 6th. We've got Smith, Duffman, Justice, Kasner D down in 10th position. Then we've got Rogers, Price, Cairns, DeBetter, Staley, Budge, Bell, Potter, White, and Douglas for your top 20. And then there's more out there as well. We've got Job, Hutchins, Burke, Clark, Rogers, Draper, Georgeson. And we only got as far as the top 31 because if you want to be on telly, folks, you're going to have to just do better and get out there and win some races so you can be featured here on the stream.
Yeah, definitely. And if you want to be featured on the stream, just make up a last name or something so we can give you some nicknames because you'll be there. You'll turn into a stream favourite for sure. But at the moment, it doesn't matter because where these boys are racing and Hero to Zero style is right here at Phillip Island, ladies and gentlemen. That is where we are. 4.41 kilometres of track length, in fact, right across over the Bass Strait there in the background. The Penguins will be in the crowd today somewhere there too. Hopefully someone doesn't mistake that for a black and white flag at some stage. But it's hot out there. It's 44 degrees, in fact, on the track. 20 degrees centigrade in the air temperature, which will equate to about 50 in the car too. But the format tonight is 15-minute qualifying. We've got 2 races. 30 minutes each piece, and that's going to be an absolute barnstormer. Who's going to take the chockies here tonight? Hopefully it's someone different, and hopefully it's this man right on your screen there right now, the old Beef and Bacon. We call him Cheese Beef and Bacon, in fact, because he's got a Colby cheese and then he's got beef and bacon at the end of his name. Holy cow, we just might as well call him the hamburger at this stage.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we saw him in a little bit of a battle last week with I think it's who was the McDonald's car. One of those guys, so maybe a little bit of cross-contamination there between those 2 guys. But look at this, absolute rubbish down here into turn 1. Cowham's just been held up a beauty. And because it's roughly a minute 30, so he's just pretty much thrown away this lap with all these cars just in the way. Very unfortunate timing for him as he hits traffic big time down there into turn 1. So he'll just have to try and clear the rest of these guys in front of him and gear up for another go at the old hot lap department.
Yep, well, it's qualifying now, so the hot laps need to start coming each of these drivers' way. That timing tower really needs to get a gallop on here at the moment. 1:27.285 is Smith, though. Cowan's way off him at the moment, 1.1 seconds on your screen away. So we're going to see some quicker times come through now. They're just getting themselves settled in, ladies and gentlemen. A bit of racing practice here too. You can see at the moment the old Beef and Bacon's just up behind another Mustang there as well. So they're going for it hammer and tong. You can see the sectors on the bottom of your screen. We've got Glisson on a flyer here as well. That is him crossing the line with a 1:28 dead, and then that's actually just put him up in a second provisionally there. We've got Eccleston coming through in Bernie, a 1:28.397, but it's 1:26s now already. So it's gone from 27s to 26s here, and that is Smith at the top. Where is the criminal? Still down there in 16th at the moment, in fact. So we'll find out where he comes, our championship leader in the Mercedes, but it's a Ford domination here with the first quarter of this qualifying session underway and already gone. That's how quick it goes, boyos.
Yeah, look at that. 4 Mustangs. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a lonely little Porsche there just sandwiched in between the last of the Mustangs. And then there's 2 more down the order there. So GT3 Mustang is all the flavour here at Phillip Island. This is the 3rd round of the championship, mind you. And the instructions have been in the Discord. There will be no more car changes from the drivers after this round. Whatever you drive in this round is locked in for the rest of the championship. So, what is the Fallon driving? He's stuck in there with the Mercedes, should I say. So, he did start this. Actually, that whole team, the whole Igniter team, did start this championship in the Aston Martin. But that is the new car in iRacing, the new GT3. And it seems to have been a mass exodus on that one. Only Whitey down there in 16th position, rocking the old Aston Martin here at the moment. So the rest of the team have made their way over to Mercedes. And whispers are that Lewis Hamilton will be doing the same out there in real life. I'd love to see it, but we'll see what happens there. But down the bottom, looks like Wayne Rogers is on a pretty good lap as well. He goes across the line there, goes up to 9th, but then is immediately eclipsed by Cairns there in the Lambo and goes down to 10th and 11th as well. Smith joining in the party.
Yeah, they're all joining in, but that time at the top there is monstrous. I wonder what Fallon's doing. Cowham's just increased his own best time there by a good 3/10 there as well, so he's securing second place at this stage. Whitey's gone across the line in 14th there for a 29-something. Sean Burke on fire here at the moment. Brittingham's just crossed the line 3 seconds off. They're all in their outlaps. Douglas as well. So we're seeing some green and yellow sectors across the board here. We're just waiting for the championship leader at the back to start getting a gallop on, but no one's catching this man at this rate. 1:26.3 here for Smith. He's got to get his gallop on because that championship is slipping away point by point, even though it's so close there at the top. If he doesn't get a win tonight, he might be nervous for the rest of the season. As he rounds the final turn here at Phillip Island, let's just ride on board with him and see how the quickest man on the track goes about it here. He crosses the line 280 odd kilometres an hour over the top. It's a blind crest there. You dart it in here, shift down 1 gear, get it right across that inside apron as he does. Beautiful stuff. Then you're out the other side. Oh, before you can think about it, you congratulate yourself about that corner, and then you got to nail the double apex here into turns 2. It's a really wide run here. Car's just off the circuit. Is he going to get a bit of suck? No, he just gets out of the way. Beautifully done. And that will probably give away at least 100th of a second there to Smitho on the timing tower at least. Heavy braking zone now. Heavy contact we saw here in 2017 in the V8 supercar race. Just got absolutely poleaxed, T-bone style, but made it around there easily. Accelerating your way up through the second half of Phillip Island. A double left-hander apex corner. You've got to get it nailed on exit and use all the apron that you've literally got, as we just saw Smith do then. Beautiful stuff. It's unbelievable how he drives this thing. Just so smooth, calm and collected. Up the hill now into the famous section of Phillip Island. We all know where this is. Lukey Heights crosses the crest of the hill, gets down into the braking zone. Right now it's a quick dip, second gear. Use all that inside the curbage you've got there. Fire it out the other side shallow. Now a little bit of a hurry up and wait corner this one. The slower you go in, the faster you come out. And then it's the last turn here at Phillip Island. 200 odd kilometres an hour they're circulating around here. If you miss that brake marker there and just slipped off the throttle too late, you're off into the sand and it's all over bar the shouting. But we can see here what Smith is going to do as he crosses the line right about now, and it is not an improvement on his time. In fact, it's, for 10th and a bit off, but a purple middle sector, good lap. Yeah,
it looks like Fallon has joined the party finally down there in 5th position, but we're used to seeing him pretty much out in front there and Dan Smith doing the catching. But Smith is, it's his turn tonight to set the pace. And we'll see what Fallon can do. He's just been knocked off by Eccleston as well. He goes up into 4th position. That's the second row, folks. This is, what a beautiful circuit to look at that. Out to the ocean there. And a beautiful day down in Melbourne to boot. So we've won the lottery here tonight, folks.
Microphone muted. Microphone activated.
And it's sweaty out there, and I just accidentally bumped my mute microphone button. So we're going great. BZ in the chat says these mid-pack margins are tighter than a new screen door. I like that one, Zacho Riley.
That's not bad there. I'll
not
tell you
bad
what
at
has
all.
happened while you've done that. I don't know how Discord's just unlived yourself, but it's happened, so I cannot see an absolute thing at the moment.
Oh.
But we all know I'm looking at the stream live in the background, 10 seconds behind, but it's still Smith leading this one by an absolute country mile, 0.8 of a second. But Price and Cowham are only split by 0.15 of a second. Wow, and it's thousandths of a second, as BZ150 said in the chat. It is 5,000 and 3,000 between 6th and 7th place, and 5th if you don't mind too.
Look at
It
that.
is all on like Donkey Kong here at the
Wow.
moment. They're just flying around here. It's so close. What can this man do on screen though? Boy, oh boy, he needs to get a gallop on 6th place for him. He needs to get the gallop because Dan Smith at the moment is just absolutely flying. He's put in the pits, in fact, so he's going to have a breather for the last 10 minutes or 9.5 minutes left in this one. There goes across the line Coelho, and he's in 26th place, 0.8 off the pace between himself and Shawnee Burke. But a little bit of a coming to fruition for the Brazilian, I think he is, in fact, here at Phillip Island. Not used to racing around these circuits. Sort of like a little bit of a Kurtaba,
Yeah.
this circuit in a way. So he'll get himself up there. Don't you worry about that.
It's got shades of Interlagos about it too, I'd imagine, with these sort of long, sweeping, downforce-inspired corners. The GT3 cars are ultimately quick around those kinds of things. So here we'll get the hang of it. There's some dust being flicked out on the... Oh, someone's lost it there in the back. Bang, that's a big off. Not too sure who that was. Potter, perhaps, in the Mustang. Sorry, in the Mercedes. So he'll go back to the garage, get that fixed, and away he goes. Dan Smith currently sitting in the pits. I reckon he might just be happy with that. He might have needed to go to the quick trip to the dunny as well. But he'll be back shortly. 9 minutes to go in this qualifying session. You can't just give it up that early. But I'll tell you what, a 26.36, still a second clear of Jeff Price sitting there in second position. And the Beef and Bacon Burger doing great things here. Only 100th off the pace of second position.
Yeah, he's doing really well, and we like seeing that those times be really close, because you know what that means. The race is going to be just as close too, ladies and gentlemen. By the time these boys get out, they've got their rhythm in, they've got the flow, they've got the mindset ready to go with a 30-minute by 2 coming up tonight in the race department, and they're really just thinking about how they can go for it at the moment. You can see the gap there on your bottom right hand side of the screen. It just looks like Callum's got lap 7 all covered, but behind him Kingy is just starting to just wind up a little bit there in the dead set fair dinkum department. They're just trying to get themselves right in and get themselves settled for a good hot go at qualifying. He's got nearly 2 tenths to make up here over Chris to get this man on the screen, Beef and Bacon, but Smith at the moment still sitting in the pits, although he's taking a slash just outside the off stump, or he's dropping the kids off at the pool. I don't know which one, but it's a long time to be sitting there in the pits. Maybe he's just, as you said, just swinging the old member around and flopping it out on the table.
No, I don't think I said that, but we'll go with that one anyway. Just flinging the old member. Why not? It's a great day for it, especially down there in Melbourne. Here's who have we got on screen here at the moment? Wade Georgeson down there in the Mercedes-Benz, looking very good. He's got, geez, only another 100th up the road to overtake Rogers as well. Geez, it's tight there. Look at that. Just zeros in front of every decimal position all the way down. It's absolutely unreal.
Me.
When these guys go racing, it's going to be, it's going to be tighter than a new screen door. I'm stealing that one off you, BZ.
Well, yeah, that's a good one. It's G-rated. I like it. It's so relatable. We all know how that is until you live in Melbourne and someone comes through and just decides to barge through it and steal your keys to your Porsche on screen right now. Very common thing happening at the moment, but none of that on the racetrack. These guys have got security everywhere here. They've got the wildlife there. They've got the great whites with the breathing apparatus on it, standing at the door. So it can survive out of the water. It's fine. And these boys racing around very well here for qualifying. We've got 5.5 minutes thereabouts left in this one, and that is not where you go, McDonald's. I tell you that one. You just got outdone by KFC for a moment there and just had a little bit of a sweat. That's not the way to go, Chef Brat, but he's on. How fitting that the chef has got McDonald's there on his livery too, by the way.
Yeah.
Suits it perfectly. Last name's about, you name it. It's all on.
Yeah, little, it's a bit of a juxtaposition, isn't it? Some irony in the old cook department there as well. A chef working at McDonald's. Oh, who knows? It's pretty hard to get work out there as a chef. So you might just end up on the old back line doing a bit of hash brown work. You never know. But looking at these times, everyone's sort of petered out a little bit as well. Brock Clark has gone green in the second sector in the meantime. He's sitting right down here at the bottom in the lonely McLaren. And not making up any time there as well. As a 1:44, so he's well off the pace here tonight. Perhaps a little more practice required there from him. But let's try and find the Fallenmeister, the criminal here. Still just sitting on a 1:27.5. He's got about 4.5 minutes to make up that gap. Otherwise, this could be a big swing in the old championship department. What's he trying to do there? Just scrub those fronts and get a bit of temperature into him. This will be his push lap here, probably one of the last couple that he gets. So this will be interesting to see where he can put this up on the timing tower. Maybe a little bit off in the practice department as well this week. But as I said, it's going to be a big swing in the championship with him and Dan Smith being so tightly locked in the last couple of rounds. Now we see, 6 cars in between them. It's the world's gone topsy-turvy.
It's gone as bloody. Look, topsy-turvy is one way to put it, but at the same time, you've got to think about it. It's just one of those scenarios where you think to yourself, what has happened here? If Lance Stroll wins a race in Formula 1, that's when you know the world's gone mad, and that's what's happening here on track here at the moment. This guy cannot get it right, but I think at the moment, he's just got that 3-hour white noise thing in his ear, and just calm the nerves a little bit. He's under a bit of pressure in the championship, but he's okay. He will be fine. If at the moment 8th place is not a bad place to start, to be honest, because you're not too far in the riffraff, but you're just on the edge. You might be able to race your way to a beautiful scenario, and that might be what he's doing as well. Just don't worry about qualifying, mate. I'll just get my race setup tuned in here, and maybe do a last lap dash here with only 4 minutes left in this session. See what the criminal can do. But Nana, obviously swinging the member harder than Dan Smith. He has got a absolute commanding lead, nearly a second over the field still. The price is right. He is definitely up there in the second of the McLarens. In fact, the third of the McLarens. We've got 3 on track here tonight, which is good. He's not in the server. Kingy's gone bang, in fact, and just pipped him. Beautiful stuff there from the old maestro himself. He's just absolutely carved his way into this one in the Mercedes-Benz. Good stuff, Kingy. That's a cracker of a lap. Hope you didn't get held up right there and then. But geez Louise, you've just pipped everyone else, and now they're all going to start to think about going back to the drawing board. Has the grip just started to turn up on the track here finally in the last 2 minutes of qualifying?
Yeah, maybe. We've even seen Dan Smith head back out on circuit, so maybe the track rubbering up a little bit, and he decides, you know what, there's only one way I'm going to beat that 1:26.3 is when the track is fully rubbered up and ready to go. So he's coming out for his final push lap now, and let's see how he does it. Let's do a bit of wheel work here with the man on pole, and by a fair margin too, considering how tight the rest of the field is. He's really thrown the gauntlet down to the rest of these blokes here tonight in that beautiful livery on the GT3 Mustang as well. I love it. It's one of my favourites. I used to play Sega Rally absolutely religiously back in the day, and the old Celica looks exactly like that one. Probably even not as cool. I'd say the Mustang GT3 suits it down to an absolute T.
It does. It's really, really cool. I like it. It sort of looks like a Super in the way as well. As if you look at the windows on the side of the car to what a Super is, the Mark IV, in fact. It is literally a carbon copy of how it went too. So bit of inspiration from the old car manufacturers on each other's models, and that's how the world goes around. But look at that mid-pack there. 27s all the way from second, ladies and gentlemen, down to 15th. We've got 14 drivers in the 127 mark, and I'm telling you what, it is tighter than tartan pants out there at this stage. They are ready to rock and roll, and with that at the moment, that is done. Job done, or job done, or done job, or whatever you want to call it for Smith. He's on pole at the moment provisionally. What can these boys do? Because the timer is about to tick down to 0 here, and he's ready to go. Is beef and bacon. That was so close there on the apex. Just forcing the issue, just going at it. We've got cars off the circuit. We've got cars back on the circuit. Here comes Hamilton across the start-finish line. He's going to put in one last lap, hopefully. In fact, no, he goes up to 14th with a 27.7. So another 27 in the mix. That's a happy days for him. Bumps himself up 3 positions. We've got 22 seconds left in this one. Christopher, who's going to take it? That's Smitho.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone's coming close to Smitho at the moment. 8 tenths up on Kingy, and 9 tenths for Cowham as well. Then we got Price Ferber. Everyone just leaving the server here at the moment. Smith's out. He's done. We got Cowan, Price Ferber, and Eccleston all out. Brett Smith still having a crack, but now he's parked it up. And that's the end of qualifying, folks. Dan Smith is the qualifying champion here. Qualifying results right there. What's going on here? Back we go. Dan Smith up the front. Kingy off the front row right there with him. We got Coleman. Colby Cowan. It's a bit of a mouthful there. Beef and bacon rolls off the tongue. Nice and easier. Actually gets the tongue salivating as well. The fat man in the commentary box. Dreaming of beef and bacon burgers already. Let's look at the grid because it's up and ready to go, Zach O'Reilly.
Yeah, they're ready to go here, and Dan Smith does take it by a country mile. So Kingy's next to him. Beef and Bacon's off third place. Price is wrong in fourth place. The old Furby in fifth. We got Bernie in sixth place. We've got Steve Smith in seventh place. We've got the Criminal in eighth, the championship leader there. Disappointing qualifying for him. Budgie Smuggler in ninth place. The Chef in 10th. Second Capital of Queensland, Cairns in 11th place. We've got Nick Green there in 12th. And then as we follow through the loose, we've got Glisten, Hamilton, Nicol, Bell, Justice. Oh, no, we've gone wrong. Fowler, Rain Rogers, Darren Justice, White. The old, oh, goodness me, the old Brittingham. I had the nickname for him last night. Ben Mead, Shawnee
The
Burke,
British Pig.
The British Pig, that's it. Ash Rogers, son of Wayne, in 24th place. And then it keeps going, ladies and gentlemen, before the final one of the night. Justice, no, that's not. Then we've got Georgeson, yep. Potter, Douglas, Coelho, and Clark round out the 29th place on the grid.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. It's a half an hour sprint race, ladies and gentlemen. Who's going to take the chockies? We've got all the front engine cars up the front there as well. We've got Mercedes in between a couple of Ford Mustang GT3s. Actually, Price and his McLaren's up there as well with a very rear engine Porsche. So a nice little mix. We've got the BMW up there with Smith too. So a nice range of manufacturers, but clearly the Porsche is the favourite out there. I don't know if it's... can we say the old OP word? Is that happening out there, or is just a car manufacturer favourite amongst the masses? But, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go racing here. Race one, and what a start there from Smith. Absolutely smashed it off the line. He will lead down into turn one, and I think Kingy's got an absolute shocker there. Oh no, there's chaos happening there in the background. 3 or 4, 5 cars off at the moment, and oh, Jesus, bits of debris across the track. That is a wild start as well. We've seen absolute brilliance here for the most part, but now my computer has just decided to pack it in. Oh, my goodness. Can you hear me, Zach?
Yeah, I got you.
You got me. Oh, there we go. We're back on, I think. iRacing Live has stopped working. The stream is, I don't know. Oh, my God. It's died. Oh, no. The fucking SDK stopped. Shit. Let me see if I can recover this. iRacing Live.
No, we're still on. We're still on.
Still on. All right. Well, you guys can watch the race from there while I try and fix what's going on in the old department here.
The old SDK is still on the screen, by the way.
That's good.
Still in second place. We're looking here at the old British Pig himself, Brittingham, on the screen, and now the stream's gone.
No, it could be back in just a moment. Let me look. Oh my God, what's going on? Lifetime.
Nope.
We're
and
back.
It's back again.
Good,
Yeah.
good. Yep. We're looking at something,
again.
I hope.
Everything's gone on the SDK stuff,
Yeah,
but
that's,
I reckon we just go to a break. What do you reckon?
Just keep the action on. It will be
Keep
up
it
in
on
just
there.
a moment. Here we go. Grid race. We should be up in just a moment here. There we go. Looks like we're back, folks.
Excuse the technical difficulties.
Yeah, there we go. Up the front of the field, Mead is at the front with Price. What's happened to Dan Smith? He's down there in 5th position. Or is it first? We're just waiting for the timing tower to... yeah, it is. That looks like Dan Smith out in front. Colby Cowan sitting in 2nd position with Kingy there in 3rd. Brett Smith behind him with Ferber and Fallon sitting in 11th now. Behind them. We're just waiting for this timing tower to update. But I tell you what, an action-packed start there from the boys. I hope we're all there and watching the stream right now. It's hard to tell if we're on. We're on. It's fantastic.
That's all right. I need the Discord back while you're at it too, by the way, since we're all ships going ahead. But it is a cracking little start there from Pricey. He's sticking himself right up there. Fallon's just struggling in the background at the moment. You can see him. He's gone down to 11th place. So our championship leader is 100% struggling here at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. See what he can do in the grand scheme of things and get it going. The timing tower is just starting to sort itself out. Finally, at the moment, it's all happening. Smith still out in front. Callum second place. Kingy in third. And Smith, Ferber, and Fallon. Actually, in fact, I don't know what's happened at the timing tower on my end, but it's now at 6th place for Fallon. He hasn't gone backwards.
No,
he's back up there again, and it's all racing on. You can see a 5-way suck car train here starting to form, ladies and gentlemen, and Smithy is at the front of it. So he doesn't want to get sucked off too quickly here. He just wants to keep that 4th place going and maybe get a little bit of a positional advantage over Kingy, but Kingy's stretching his legs. He's got a Porsche behind him. He's got Fallon there as well, so 2 quick guys. The chef's involved in this one too. Cairns is nearly there as well. So all guns are blazing here for the rest of them. Can Fallon just be the race master tonight? Get through this mid-pack here in 6th place. Not really mid to front pack. And get himself up into Dan Smith's rear vision mirror and maybe give him some old curry.
Yeah, that's what you want. Just a little hot Vindaloo here with 4 minutes down. Oh, look at this. A big send from Fallon down into MG. Goes a bit deep and he will be vulnerable again to Ferber, who gets around the outside there. That was ambitious stuff. It was a heart-in-mouth moment there as well. Fallon just caught Ferber napping, sent it up the inside down the hill, and I think he just outbraked himself or thinking about it. But now he's right on the back of him this time. Let's see. Let's ride on board. He's getting the suck down the Gardner Straight, down the hill into Doohan turn. Can he pull a Doohan on the Ferb man as well? Goes up the inside. Very hard spot to overtake because you really end up running wide there. But look at this. Cook has joined the conversation now as well, and right up on the back of Ferber too. So Fallon through into 5th position. And now look at this, Cook all over the back of Ferber.
No, he's got the branding iron out at the moment, does Cook, and he's just branding everyone here. It's so hot out there. In fact, it's just going for the move. 2 Porsches under brakes. Who's going to take that out of there? And the chef does. Beautiful stuff. Up the inside he goes. Just going to gallop away into the distance now and hopefully catch the arse end of Luke Fallon, because that is one quick man on a mission at the moment. The braking ability from Fallon was just absolutely incredible over Lukey Heights. Into the dipper we went, and we just saw that before, but now the chef's there. On screen we've got Georgeson here as well, battling over 22nd place here. He's gone straight up the inside there, and that is a good move, in fact, for Georgeson. He's got Glisson. Thank you very much, mother, for the rabbits. He said he had a mare on the last lap of 32.6, so he came off, and a bit of curry just being dished back at him, but nonetheless, into 21st he goes, up 4 places from the start. Beautiful stuff. The Furby is still on the back end here of the chef. He hasn't let go of him. They're forming each other's lines here. They're just copying whatever they do. If the chef goes wide here and drops the old steak on the ground after cooking it for 28 minutes, I'll tell you what, Furby's going to follow him, and this is a full-on suck battle here. Look at the closing speed here of the 2 Porsches down the Gardner Straight. We go up the inside. Furby's going to try and go for it here. Can he send it in there on the chef? He does. 2x2 Noah's Ark style. We go into turn 1. Boy, oh boy, just a little bit of a nearly contact situation. Oh my goodness me, that was so close. He's ran it a bit wide there as Furby, but he's going to get the run out of the second part of turn 2. Can he get the run down the straight? We go again now. It's a jink to the left hand coming up, and in comes Cairns. The second capital of Queensland is just giving him the curry here. Oh, look at that. That was nearly a full-on pirouette on the moment there for the Porsche, and he's just rear-ended the chef there too for some good old Tijuana. But here comes Cairns with all of these boys having a good old crack, and don't count out Eccleston coming through at a rate of knots. That's a big moment there for Furby. Lost a place there, just squirreled mid-corner, and here comes Bernie.
Right up the inside. Here he goes through the S's up the back end of this circuit, but the Porsche just manages to keep that there. But I'll tell you what, there's still overlap as they head up into Lukey Heights now, and that Mustang just has the horsepower to just slip it up the inside and across the top down into MG again. Beautiful scenes here out there tonight. I'll tell you what, Ferber just never really recovered from that little tank slapper we saw on the way into, I still call it Honda Hairpin. Miller can go and get stuffed. He can't have a corner named after him until he wins a championship. Dead set. But down here, the Ash Rogers is on the back of Tim Nicol here as well. Let's look out the front window as they go through the couple of final turns. Look at that. Nicol just gives him a wide berth and says, you know what, Rogie? Up you go, son. I'll just sit in your slipstream, and I'll take in this beautiful view out there to the Southern Ocean.
Yeah, nothing between that and Tasmania out there for sure, but that was a cracking little move. Full encouragement there from both drivers and just over the inside. Kansas has made one position up already. Now he's trying to make a second in the same place that he possibly could on the second lap here as he comes up the inside. Just a little bit of Morse code, I reckon, there on the rear bumper of the chef. He's on a mission tonight, his Cans. I'll tell you what, get them out, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't cracked one already. Boy, oh boy, you're in for a good night tonight here, but the chef is under all sorts. He's got sixth place, really under some sort of real estate pressure. As we see from the chopper cam, they go over the top of Phillip Island there. Scenes everywhere, a lake to the left there that was absolutely just dead set empty. But you can see the closing speed of Cairns. That is incredible. Just nearly outbraked himself there. Got it around the top. Down into the dipper we go. Now we've got to see what these boys can do. Bugger it. It's all over at the bar. Shouting there for Cairns. He's just got to keep himself focused on Chef in front of him and maybe get some lines and just tips and pointers, because I tell you what, Eccleston's coming at a rate of knots. Nearly lost it there, did Eccleston in the foreground. Just had a tank slapper on exit. Sliding it around in the last turn. Down the straightaway we go. Over the blind crest and onto the grass there goes Cairns. He's on a mission here, and look at the suck he's about to get. Can he get a move done or think about a move into turn 2, in fact? He's a bit far away for turn 1. Slides it in now. He's got the braking advantage there. The chef just runs it wide, but that's how you drive a Porsche. You go wide in, you point it in, and you put the throttle down. Now it's a mid-engine versus rear-engine battle here at the moment. Boy, oh boy, Cairns on an absolute mission tonight. So is Smith out in front. Still 4.8 seconds away from any threat from the Beef and Baconator, but this battle here is just absolutely sensational. Can he get the move done here, Christopher?
Oh, he's looking like Chef's just in a little bit of damage control mode here at the moment, but Cairns is looking very racy indeed. That's the third lap in a row. We've seen him poke the nose up there at Honda Hairpin, but now he's just buggered up the exit, and here comes Eccleston. It says it's his turn to have a shot at the Chef, and behind them as well, it's Ferber who's just chimed back in after a run of little mistakes, and now he seems to have found a bit more of a rhythm, and he's getting back into this battle as well. But Cairns now, it's his turn to shit the bed proverbially, if that's even a word. We make up words here at Sensational TV. It's your first time. Enjoy it, because we are building a dictionary all on our own. But look at this. Ferber right up the back of Cairns here. That Lambo just struggling over this final lap that we have been watching them, and now Ferber just dips a wheel off as well and lets the pressure valve off. But Fallon up ahead is giving Brett Smith right curry down here into turn 1. He's going to step out of the slipstream and look up into doing turn. We've seen him make an overtake here already tonight, and that's his second one too. So he just pops that on the old blackboard and says, thank you very much, son. Moves up to P4. But in the meantime, his championship adversary is about 5.5 seconds out in front of Beef and Bacon, with Kingy about a second behind them.
I reckon Fallon's just dishing out chips to the Seagulls as he overtakes people. He's just making it look so easy here at Phillip Island, just slamming it down the inside with full confidence here, and it's cracking to see. What can Shawnee Burke do? He's got Nickel in front of him in the Ferrari, in fact, and he's got a little bit of a meat and a sandwich situation coming here. If he can't get this overtake done, I'll tell you what, Green at the background is going to be right there with him too. So can he make a move here on Nickel, who could be a little bit of a cork in the bottle? We come into the really tight right-hander. Come forward out the other side. Just gets that extra drive there, does Burke. So he's got a beautiful run on board with him now. Boy, oh boy, that Ferrari's looking a bit hairy there. Just trying to get it up the inside, mid-braking in mid-corner there for the Ferrari. Oh, that's a beautiful run out of that turn there too. Goodness me, I thought he had the job done. Has to slot back in behind that Ferrari once again. Slides it up the inside, reduces the radius of the turn, and then he's got to think about his braking marker to send it around the outside. Oh, nearly contact. Just absolutely shut himself there, did Nickel. Saw him coming, just full tank slapping himself out of that battle. Loses 2 places. Green slides on through in the McLaren as well. That is incredible. I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, if there's a dictionary out there to make a name up for that sort of tomfoolery, we'll give it here in the sensational commentary box.
You got to take your opportunities when they fall in your lap, and that's just what happened there. Speaking of which, it looks like Cook has just got past Eccleston as well. Oh, sorry, Cook still holding off Eccleston. These guys have been having a crack at the Chef for this whole time, and tell you what, this is an absolute masterclass in defensive driving there from the Porsche driver as well. He's got the hash browns in, he's got the Big Macs just chucking out the back of that Porsche and keeping these guys at bay somehow. I'll tell you what, you can see just how angry the front of that Mustang looks, and it will be looking for any kind of opportunity to just slide up the inside, poke the nose up, some way to distract the chef there from the McDonald's entry. And we've got cans back there as well in the Lambo, the lonely Lambo. It's the best looking car on the grid. It's the best car, GT3 car ever built, the Huracan. What a beautiful piece of machinery. But I'll keep fanging on about that every time. But I'll tell you what, now is Eccleston's given up the ghost just a little bit there to Cook as well. And that gap is out to about 4/10, the longest we've seen it. But down here we've got Fowler on the back of Potter as well, waving his magic wand down there in 16th position.
Yeah, they're all going for each other here.
Whoa.
Sent down the inside. There's Fowler. Oh, more. Jeez Louise. Incredible car control. And he's binned himself. Oh, no. He's just absolutely terrorised himself. That was a full Osama style there. And goodness gracious me, he's just lost all that hard work that he just put right back into that move. A full send in the Honda. In fact, it's an Acura because it's in America. But anyway, we know it's an NSX. Brother under all sorts here. There goes Bell, and who's also changed his car as well, Christopher.
No,
he's gone from the Porsche and he's back into a Mustang now. He's known what's happening here. They're turning a 2x2 into turn 1 and just fangs it around the outside. That Mustang looks OP to me. Don't worry about the Porsche. That Mustang is just, oh no, in front there goes a big move, and Potter's just been smashed into the back end. Goodness gracious me, that is not where you want to go in his DNF. The Wizard's had enough. He's bloody Expelliarmus himself out of this one.
Yeah.
And Gonski's, he's see you later, alligator. Cookie's under all sorts here. Kansas gone backwards here. Eccleston has just pipped them both, mind you, in that sort of opening stanza. Wow, this is topsy-turvy racing. It is so tight. We don't know where to look up and down the field. The battle's on here at the moment. Cook's going for us up the inside send. Kansas just sitting at the background sipping a few as well while he's watching the rest of them go for it. And now we've got Bernie out in front just dishing out $50 notes out the back end saying, boys, if you can't invest more money into your race cars and beat me, you never bloody will.
Dead set, all in the fair income department here at Sensational TV. And the boys are chiming in the chat as well. Brendan Hark with the... Actually, we'll start with BZ. To read the Sensational Dictionary, you need to accompany it with a bottle of red. It's the perfect accompaniment to any situation there at Red Cordial. I have to express that perfect accompaniment to any occasion really in life. And Brendan Hark chiming in as well. You could almost say that Cook is grim racing. Looking at that in the rear view
grimacing.
mirror.
Come on,
Goodness
grimacing.
Me.
It's a McDonald's pun, grimacing.
Grim racing.
You know, no, grimacing.
Grimsational, if you ask me.
You know the character Grimace, surely we know.
It's the purple thing, isn't it?
Yeah, the purple thing that looks like a bloody blob.
A big jelly bean.
Yeah, or a kidney bean or something
Whatever
like that. Goodness me.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's playing puns. He's a hackster in the chat as well, which is great. Yeah. It's just feeding us some more things so we can see, but we'll just keep going here like Hamilton is at the moment. Dead set, poor performance. That front end. Oh, geez, you can make many jokes as you want, as you will, about front ends being bashed in. But boy, oh boy, that car has got more hits than Elvis Presley and Elton John put together at the moment on the front end. The opposite end of those two gentlemen, in fact, in terms of rear ends and front ends. But
Elton's had the rear end damaged a few times, I imagine.
Well, Elton John had, he was a bit sick. He was a bit ill one day and he went into the doctor and he's gone, oh, mate, I'm a bit sick. I feel a bit well. And the doctor said, yeah, mate, you've been hanging around any stars lately? And he said, yeah, I've been hanging around Queen. And he goes, oh, well, that explains the mercury poisoning.
But hang on a minute. Can we get the laughs up? There we go. We got canned laughter and everything here at Sensational TV, folks. It's all happening. Down here on track, it's all happening as well. Junior Hamilton is right up on the back of Tim Nicol as well. Actually, no, there's Tim Nicol going into the pits. It's Wade Georgeson, folks. Let's get on board with him and see what he can see out the rear vision mirror. And you can just sense the speed there as well. Absolutely ripping stuff down here into Doohan Corner. One of the fastest turn ones in all of the world, let alone Australia. And that GT3 Mustang is looking absolutely fantastic as well. Look at that, coming right up close. Maybe a little bit of damage there as well, if I can see that. I'm not too sure.
That has got more punches in the nose than bloody Floyd Mayweather gives out, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't have my glasses on.
It's absolutely rooted in the front end, but it doesn't matter. It's not giving him any downforce point negatives. He's just flying it through here. Georgian's under all sorts of pressure in the Mercedes-Benz, so he's looking in his rear vision mirrors at the moment and thinking about how he's going to defend from that flying Mustang coming through. It's an ominous colour, the old, we call that chromatic blue that's on that paint job. It's a really, really cool colour, and he's giving all the old Hamilton tricks of the trade now at the moment, seeing if he can get around that Mercedes-Benz of Georgeson. We'll see what he navigates here through the sweeping left-hander up the hill into Luke. Once we go, gets it turned in, comes out the other side, doesn't have the braking ability to pull it up in time to get a move on, but he's going to be there again. We've got to go to Cairns because he's on the back end again of the chef. It's heating up there. Goodness gracious me again. The Cairns has found himself back in the rhythm, and Furby has come out the worst out of all of them. He's sailing back at a rate of knots in that Porsche, but Cairns has just sunk a few more. 0.12 at the moment in the Cairns sim racing rig at this point in time, and it seems like it's working.
Yeah, we missed the overtake there as well with Eccleston getting past the Cook. We saw those guys just defending and battling through that whole first stanza. But we're just going to try and... I'm going back here and we can see the replay here of the overtake. Let's see how he got it done down here into Honda Hairpin. Right up there beside, gets the job done, and out the other side through, looking into Siberia as well. So that's how you do it. He was setting that up for a couple of laps as well. Finally gets the job done, and now he is in there in sixth position with Greg Cook, just about half a second behind Bradley Cairns as well, just giving up the ghost a little bit there in the Lambo. Can't quite get up on the rear of the chef at the moment, and I know that's where he wants to be, but down here as well, they're kicking off with Glisson right up behind Berkey as well in the Porsche. And look at that down the hill. Oh, maybe just half a move. It was sort of half ambitious, half not really committing, but I'll stay in the centre of the track and maybe just scare the shit out of the green Porsche, and maybe he makes a mistake.
Well, it was scared the shit out of me when you said that Cairns was in sixth place, because I thought I missed something, but he's in eighth. We've got OPSM out there. We need a sponsor on board here to get some new specs for Munro. He's struggling here between his sixes and eights, but this is on here like Donkey Kong. Oh my goodness me. Speaking of sunglasses, Glisson's just absolutely trying to hound the back end of this one. Give himself some curry there. Go into Berkey and just give him some Tijuana out the other side, mate. Look at the closing speed mid-corner, but it's going to be lost on exit. That Porsche is planted as you like it. I'm telling you right now, he's got a little bit of a suck battle here at the moment. Glisson trying to get up the rear end and try to sneak a move around the outside, I reckon, into the hairpin coming up. It's going to be on here like Donkey Kong. He's going to fire that Mustang up. No, he does. Oh, no! Oh, just nearly takes everyone out. In fact, just takes himself out there. That was great awareness there from from Fowler and Burke. They saw that move coming from a mile away, but great car control from Glisson to avoid everyone in sundry. I told you that stuff would happen on the sim track. It happened in real life, nearly there too. Goodness gracious me. That was an absolute barnstorm. But Berkey now under all sorts, because he's got the big man Fowler just got past him now to rate of knots. Happy days, sails away. The man who doesn't need any sponsors is this guy. He's a trillionaire off the circuit. We've all found that out. Just goes out and, as you said, Chris, just drives that thing back home after a race meet.
Yeah, just parks it in the old garage at, where are we in Melbourne? What's a rich suburb down there in Melbourne, Zachary? Toorak. Just drives into Toorak, gets the old automatic gate open and parks it next to his other set of supercars. Goes, where are we racing next weekend, boys? Do we need to put this NSX on the plane, or do we put it on the ship? Where do we want to go? But doesn't need sponsors. No paint job, no worries. Look at this, Glisson up the inside as well. Berkey just couldn't keep pace with him down the straight. These Mustangs are pretty quick in a straight line, I tell you what. What is going on here, ladies and gentlemen, in the old OP department? There's no other explanation with so many Ford Mustangs on the bloody grid.
I know, and it's incredible the gap that Smith has got over Cowan. 10 seconds now in front is a big man, so we've got to keep an eye on if that is unforced error himself out of a win, but it looks like it's cemented there for two Fords, 1 and 2. There might have been an iRacing update, and it's just completely stuffed the old algorithms there.
BOP.
Maybe some extra Munros on the on the downforce scale there onto the Mustang. Who knows? But, you know, could be there. But it doesn't matter because the chef doesn't give a rat's toss bag. He's sailing around there in 7th place as we see Smith here going for a move around the outside, in fact, on a lap marker. So he's just trying to navigate.
That's not lapping. That's for position.
Is it? Yep. Oh, shit, it is too. Oh, that's a massive slide there. Eccleston absolutely lost it there. Just managed to gather it up finally. Boy, oh boy, that shows that there are some extra Munros on that car. That looked all over bar the shouting, but somehow the downforce just kept the glue to the green stuff out there on the track. In fact, it's not wet out there. I'll tell you, on the grass, it's drier than a Sahara Desert, I'm telling you. But look at that. We've got Fallon now all under pressuring Smith in front of him. Eccleston's joining the party there too. So it's going to be a three-way battle here, ladies and gentlemen. Who's going to be the first to blink? Who's going to be the first to make an overtake here as we start heating up into the final 8 minutes of this race here? We've got one more to go after this. But I'm telling you, 4th place at the moment is looking very hot property. And Smith is probably about to lose an auction here to the Criminal.
Yeah, I tell you what, if they keep kicking on as well, there's 3 cars in the way of Cook, Cairns and Ferber who aren't far behind this trio as well. This could be a little 6-way battle coming up to the very end. And all it takes is these two here. Whoa, Fallon right up the arse of Smith there as well. Manages to not make contact. I don't know how. Maybe just an atom's width there, a bit of electromagnetism keeping those two apart. But I tell you what, they don't want to be doing that too much because this man on screen here, Bernie, has shown he's got pretty good pace as well. He's started in the position there where he is at the moment. And he's looking forwards to poking his nose up in this little business here. But back there, look at that. Cairns really closing in on the back of Cook as well. And, another little move at the front here. It looks like, no, that's a back marker just getting out of the way. And that's compressed these three now into a proper old menage a trois. And Zach O'Reilly, who doesn't love one of those?
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you what, late at night on any given night, actually, in fact, in the world, someone right now is giving a flying, you know what, and so is Phillip Fallon. He's absolutely trying to hound the back here as Smith, though. He's just getting the pressure boiled at the moment. The kettle is on, steaming, and it's about to whistle here in Smith's cockpit. I'll give you the hot tip. You can see that purple Mercedes-Benz just coming at a rate of knots. Knows that he can be under threat here for a 4th place lossage, and even a 5th place too, because if Eccleston gets involved in this one while they're battling away, it could be a 2-for-1 loss deal here. And look at Fallon just showing the nose everywhere. Up the inside, feathering that brake pedal, tracing it in. And in fact, trail braking is the correct term there. And look at that for closing speed. Oh, my goodness me. What an opportunistic overtake. Has he got it cemented here as we go to the left-hand kink? No. I'll tell you what, Smitho's fighting back at him. Fallon's on the outside. It's the advantageous racing line here for Smitho. Is he going to be brave and stick a fat up the inside? He is. Fallon's just sending it to. Oh, my goodness me. He's wiggling and wagging. And here comes Eccleston. Oh, my goodness me. He's going for it, ladies and gentlemen. Going to get the suck on Fallon. Even bump draft him down the front straightaway. He does too. This is incredible into turn 1. 3 cars in ascent as well from Eccleston. And up the inside goes Smith again to take 5th place back. Oh, boy, Fallon's just got the free kick of his life. These two are contact as well. And around does go Smithy. Oh, you're kidding me. Get absolutely rooted in the fair dinkum department. That was right on like Donkey Kong, hard battling, and just the old upset balance of the car. Physics kicked in, and that was all she wrote.
Oh, geez, just a little bit upset there at the front end. Needed a couple of more Munros in the old downforce department, but what a disappointing end to that exchange. Fantastic racing by all involved. And then we saw these two guys getting very close indeed on circuit, but now that has fizzled out a little bit. Let's go and see old Wayne Rogers down here giving his mate Wade Georgeson, the two captains of Aussie Sim Racing, going hard at it here in the old Mercedes department as well. They don't want to be setting a bad example on the stream. It looks like we are on the final lap of the race, ladies and gentlemen. Let's ride on board with Dan Smith and give him some love because we've hardly seen him all race.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely blitzed the field, ladies and gentlemen. 11.5 seconds, in fact, is the difference between himself and Beef and Baconator. That is dead set in the same car. That is just ability right there from this man. clean air as he wants, and that's what he got. He absolutely paid the racing officials out there. Just mate, give us all some clean air for me, and we'll give you a couple of hundreds under the table at the end of the race. But he's done it on merit here tonight, just showing the field how it can be done. Is Smith, though, just uses every single bit of the curb there as well, and some bunda too, to get that car navigated into the left-hander. But wowee, cracking driving from him, and just sets the precedent for the next 30 minutes coming our way. And this man is going to take it by a country mile. Christopher Munro, Eccleston now is on the back of Fallon too, so we've got a last lap dash here. Oh geez, if that comes through a Grazzo, I'll tell you what, there's going to be some steamy customers in the Discord chat. But this man won't care about it, Will Smith, though. He's racing around here. He's got 4 corners to navigate before he rounds the checkered flag and meets that with absolutely glory and guts. That fat lady will sing, and it'll be all over here for the big man. Cracking stuff, I'm telling you. This man is one to look out for the rest of the season. He's going to take the championship lead as of right now. Dan Smith, take an absolute bow. Rounds the final corner. Commanding win, commanding victory, and it's all over for Dan Smith. P1 here for race 1 at Phillip Island.
Yeah, beautiful drive there from Dan Smith. That's how you do it, folks. Just whack it on pole. And what about that? A bit of Tokyo drift action around doing it, 200 k's an hour. Get absolutely stuffed. That's a beautiful show of car control. It's a shame he couldn't keep it going, but
photo finish.
W is a W. Let's see what we got here. Fallon overtaking Eccleston for 4th. Actually, it was Eccleston on the attack there. Could not get it done, but we'll have to settle for 5th position. A big turn in the championship as well, with Fallon finishing his furthest back. Result we've seen has just been P1s and 2s for him so far, but the P4 will have to do in race 1 here tonight as they just delete the front bar there of the Mercedes. Good stuff there. Greg Cook in 6th position, Can Smith and Ferber in the rest of the positions. We got Budge as well, closing out the top 10 with Rogers, Brittingham, Nick Green, Lachlan Bell, Archie White, Cale Fowler, should I say, needs to keep that...
old Herb.
Yeah, needs to... yeah, he's a healthy guy. Glisson down there in 17th, Junior Hamilton 18th, 19th, and Justice in 20th position there. Price coming in 19th position. We got Rogers, Georgeson, Douglas, Brody Clark, Vinicius Coelho. I wish I could pronounce that properly. I would... love that indeed. Let's have a look at the official race results if they pop up on our screen. There we go. We were up to the final bit of those. We're up to Clark, Coelho, Burke, Tim Nicol, and poor old Harry Potter there at the back. The old abracadabra spell has been placed on him down there in 28th. Couldn't get the job done.
10 laps down, disappointing out of 16, I'll give you the hot tip. But what a absolute belter of a race there we saw from the mid-pack. We're getting everything up and down the field, and that is what we come here for. I hope you guys are enjoying it. And at home, watching it on the Idiot Box or on your smartphone or tablet or whatever. And if you haven't already, give us a shout out, give us a like and subscribe. Tell your friends about Simsational TV, and give a big old round of applause to these boys here at Aussie Sim Racing, just giving us some of the best clean racing action, and hard, by the way, that I think I've seen in a long time. The iRacing boys are up there, and they're showing us how it's done for sure, Christopher. And race 2, boy, oh boy, another 30-minute spell. And what's that's going to come to grips is we're going to see another domination, or are we going to see tears from glory come our way?
Yeah, I reckon another domination, because Smitho is going to be starting there at the front too. So he will just be rip-roaring and ready to go, and just take off where he left there from race 1. So... it's time we take a little break here in the commentary box. We'll go and use the John. We'll get ourselves refreshed for the second race. We've got about a 5 to 10 minute gap here. I think it's a 5-minute break. So we'll be back very shortly. Zach, if you want to take us to the break.
Yeah, 30 minutes of racing still to go, ladies and gentlemen. Race 2. It's going to be an absolute barnstorm. Race 1 was a precedent to set. They've got to set a better example for race 2. And if that's anything, it's going to be golden racing. So we will be back here after we refresh ourselves both in the kitchen and the bathroom department. And it is red cordial time, Run Marshall. I'll give you the hot tip. Go and get some cotties down us, and we'll be back for race 2 in just a few moments.
Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance.
Welcome back to the track, folks, and we are picking up where we left off. Dan Smith will be starting in first position, Beef and Bacon in second, with Kingy and Fallon off the second row, Eccleston and Cook off the third, Cairns and Smith off the fourth, Ferber and Budge off the fifth, with Rogers and Carl Brittingham, the British pig in other words, off the sixth, with Green and Bell, White and Fowler, Glisson and Hamilton, Price, Justice, Rogers, Georgeson, Kyle, Douglas, Brock Clark. Sorry about that. I always say that. Coelho, Burke, Nickel, Potter, Mead, and we're just about ready to go.
Yeah, it's going to be a cracking race, ladies and gentlemen. 30 minutes are off and way. In fact, we're off and racing, and there wasn't as a good start there from Smitho. The Beef and Baconator's got a beautiful run around the outside, and he's going to probably try and take P1 here into turn one. Can he get the job done from the chopper cam? He sticks it fat and does so. Oh, beautiful stuff there from Baconator. Fallon's trailed around the outside too and got that job done in the purple car. You can see in third place. He's got the chockies there over Kingy. So Eccleston's even made it, and Kingy's off. Oh, no, Kingy's been punted out of turn two. Jeez Louise. In fact, it's nearly 4 or 5 cars wide. inside. Look at Budgie at the moment, just smuggling his way through the field. We've got the Magistrate in there too. This is 3 or 4 cars wide coming through turn 3 here at Phillip Island. Now we've just got to get through a braking zone without some carnage, and there is already. Oh my goodness me, Glisten just absolutely set the shades out and put them on at the wrong time. Oh my goodness me, nearly carnage there himself. Gets back on the circuit and they navigate themselves around the first half. No, they don't.
No.
Oh, it's even piss poor in the background.
What's going
Clark
on back
and
there?
Rod Douglas have come together, and even more Team Nickel involved. But goodness gracious me, and he's exited, he's gone, and that is all she wrote already at turn 4. They lasted 4 turns here, ladies and gentlemen, before someone DNF. But it's Eccleston in 4th place now, just commanding himself into this battle. Look at Smitho, he's on the back now of Beef and Bacon. The 2 Mustangs here are going to round the final corners of Phillip Island for lap 1 here, only split by 0.2 of a second thereabouts. It's going to be a suck battle here for Smitho. What can the Beef and Baconator do? I tell you what, at the moment, he's under all sorts. Around the outside, an overlap nearly. That was so close there for contact. They had to check up, did Smitho. That is a lap 1 dash there, ladies and gentlemen. Get your heart rates back down and sit back in your seats because it's all happening.
Yeah, look at this. Eccleston right up on the rear wing here of Fallon as well. Oh, no, that's a punt. If I've ever seen one, Fallon goes off the other side. He's trying to redress as well, but now the cavalry has arrived, and they're all chiming in. It's Ferber there as well. We've got Cook up the inside. Smith gets turned around, and he's off into the bunda now. It looks like Eccleston's just lost his front bar too. This is all happening. Look at that. The Porsche up the inside. Ferber having a good old crack. They're going to go into the braking zone here, and up front it looks like Fallon's giving the chef a bit of a hurry up as well. They go side by side, and Fallon's got through on the other side on the way to Siberia. Now they come, and it's single file for once. And Ron Marshall's, oh no, who was it that says, Jesse Marshall said they've all had a beer in the break. Dead set. It looks like it as well. We've crapped on about how good they are, these iRacing drivers, and I'll tell you what, the last couple of races they're starting to give that back. Now look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars all nose to tail. The old human centipede trick as well,
no.
Up through Lukey Heights. Oh, there's somebody off the field there. That's Kingy. It's gone from bad to worse from Kingy. He was right up there, but look at this in the McLaren, up down the inside there as well. Beautiful move there from Price. He enjoyed he got punted off at the start, I'm pretty sure, because he was right up there in qualifying. Now he is sitting there in, where are we? 15th place around the outside. Wow, cracking start to this race. Dead set.
How Fallon is still in 3rd place has got me bamboozled, because he was off in the bunda and still managed to keep his car control under grips. But at the moment it's happening. The lead pack is going on. Coelho, the Brazilian's just found himself back into this mix too. No front bumper damage and missing on net, but it's just as we say that, he's just ran it a little bit wide. In fact, too wide. Gonski's, and so does Justice at the back. No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
That was wide at the background. Who's gone off as well. Goodness gracious me. That was disaster, and he's spinning as well in the background too is Whitey. Oh, that's disaster for the big man. Look at this battle going on. Kingy's involved in this one. We've got 5 or 6 cars, even door bumping, Morse code, you name it, just sending down the inside at 3 or 4 cars at the same time. Kingy's involved in this one too. We've got to get Brittingham, the British pig's going to try and inject himself into this battle. Even up here too, we've got Corvette involved with a McLaren and then a Mustang as well. Boy, oh boy, that is a fantastic opportunistic move there from Justice. He just got back around Price, who just got in front of him. So a lovely opportunistic move, and now these guys are going to race it hard. Oh no, that's overshot. What is happening there? Is that a redress? No, it's just a check up on the brakes, and I'll tell you what, Price shot himself. And at the background here we got Glitton back into this battle too, and at the back King is trying to get involved. 3 cars into one turn, never works. They've come out the other side cleanly. That's racing on here hard, but bloody hell, these guys are fighting for Sheep Station at the moment, and there goes Bell. Oh no, big man's gone. Absolutely yeeted himself around. Lachlan Bell, eat your heart out, son, and start chomping on that green stuff. Cowan still leading over Smithy. Good little tussle here for P1.
Yeah, I've been keeping one eye on that one, because these two are not letting each other go as well. They've absolutely cleared the rest of the field too by about 5.5 seconds, while they all squabble in this little mid-pack battle. You can see back here, look at how thick they're into it. We've got Ferber there, he's got Eccleston in front, Bradley Cairns behind, Rogers chiming in too, and oh no, Price is coming gutser as well. He's off the down in the turn 2 there. That that is not where you want to be. It's going to take him a very long time to get back out on the circuit. Look at this. Oh, no. Kingy's been turned around, and there's absolute carnage out there on the back. Coelho was involved. I think Brittingham as well. He gets his way back onto the circuit down here into Honda Hairpin. Oh, wowee. It's all kicking off here in race 2. What is going on? The drivers have lost their fucking minds.
They've lost their marbles, ladies and gentlemen. The IQ has started to decrease from mid-80s down to about that room temperature stage here for the mid-pack. It's just going lower and lower and lower. But Justice at the moment has just stamped the gavel down and just said, no, I'm not having any of that nonsense. I'm going to keep going. He's up from 20th on the grid into 13th because everyone else just T1'd himself out of it. Yeah. So good stuff from him. Eccleston, a little bit of front bumper damage there, but it's not hurting him too much. He's got his old mate Furby in front of him, and right at the back of this one, Cairns is still in this, ladies and gentlemen. Comes on hot and then goes cold as Cairns. I don't know what he does. He pulls him out of the freezer, then lets him bake on the surface. Going for it on the absolute bunda. Holy mackerel, that was opportunistic if ever. But I'm telling you, these guys now need to settle themselves down. It's a long race. We've got 23 minutes to go here, ladies and gentlemen. That is a big, dicey moment. Oh, look at this. Just as I say it, Hamilton has got together there with Glisson, and they've absolutely punted each other off. Hamilton's car again is absolutely stuffed at the front. He's got so much damage on that car. It's all crumpled there. Look, the wheel is just rubbing on that guard on the back end. Boy, oh boy, we just got to get off them because they're all commentator cursing themselves out of it. We haven't even caused it.
No.
This is the battle to look at. These guys are racing clean, hard and fast, setting the example, and no wonder they're 6.5 seconds away from any of the nonsense happening in the background.
Yeah, just walking away from the field here at the moment, and of course they are, because the rest of them are just getting right old stuck in. And Dan Smith just doing the right thing here, just sitting in the slipstream of Cowan, not really pressuring him too much, not going for any silly moves, that's for sure. He's happy just to trail Mustang to Mustang, nose to tail here, having a good old sniff of that rear wing. He is at the moment, but I don't think he's in any hurry to get this manoeuvre done, because he knows he's looking at the relative speed to the rest of the pack, and he knows that he can just sit there and smoke his pipe. And as soon as I say that, he peels out of the slipstream, peels back in again, just showing the nose to Callum. He knows that the inevitable will happen soon. He's probably got half a second per lap on him in the old pace department as well, so he can just sit there and bide his time, wait for the mistake to come. And if not, try and force that mistake later on down the circuit, because down here, Lachlan Bell and Wade Georgeson going side by side down the main straight. And who's going to get the jump down into Doohan Corner? It looks like Georgeson's on the inside, so he may have that advantage. But I'll tell you what, the Mustang around the outside we've seen is OP as anything. And here he goes now. He's just poking it up the inside of turn 2. We got Lawson there as well, or Fowler, should I say, in the background, ready to strike as well if these two guys come a gutser.
Yeah, they're looking pretty racy, and he's got the job done as bellman, so he's just struck that bell on the top of the tower and said, yep, gone. For whom the bell tolls, and I'm telling you, it's him at the moment. And speaking of which, the old nose sponsor Trillionaire in the background, sending it up the inside, and he's going to take him out. Oh my goodness, he did too. That is disaster there. Poor driving there from Fowler. Just cannot be doing that, mate. Redress that position for sure. I'm telling you now, the old safety rating was probably about, I don't know, it's gone down, whatever it has. Jeez Louise, in this race at the moment, it's decreased by 50%. Look at this battle, though. We have got an absolute barnstormer on our hands here. We've got the chef right up the back end of Fallon, who's trying to get past a blue flagger in the Aston Martin, and then we've got a big suck train because Furby's having to go at him too, trying to get the reverse suck as Furby as well. They're all going for it. Now they're darting left and right into 280 km/h approaches. What are they thinking here? 2 Porsches versus a lonely Mercedes. It's on, but Fallon has just not been able to gap these boys. In fact, nearly sent himself off there at turn 2, and it's going to be a good old fantastic situation here because the chef has got the afterburners on. I'll tell you what, Ronald McDonald will be slapping his forehead with his paddle shoes at this point if he can't get the job done. But look at the chef go for it. He sent it. He sent it up. But even Berger and Eccleston at the back. Goodness me, he sent it right up the inside of the Furby. Furby's just sitting there waiting for a command from someone in the old fair dinkum department to go for it, and he's just sending it around the outside. You can see it right now, 2x2 Noah's Ark. Kansas just sitting back there sipping a few. He's loving life at the moment, watching this go on. He's right up there at the moment.
Yeah, he is. No, we'll just keep calling the action because the old live timing's done another shit. But we're back in the action here. We can exactly see what's going on. I'm going to have to reset it again. What is going on here, Dead? and get that job done. We're back there into the action. I will share my screen with Zachary as well, and we'll be right back there. We have not missed an absolute beat here. I tell you what, the old under pressure moment's doing quite well today, folks. I'm a bit more concerned about my PC as well. I don't know what's going on there in the old fair dinkum department, but they're racing hard down here. Look at this. Fallon on the outside of Cook gets around that turn 3, and here he goes for the big old send into turn 6. The Honda hairpin, and they're right up. Oh, a little bit of contact too, Zachary. Here comes out Bernie Eccleston for a bit of a taste of his own medicine.
Oh, geez Louise, he's signed the divorce papers and he's just a free man at the moment. He's Eccleston. Fallon's just been under all sorts. So the criminal is getting beaten around the old jail cell at the moment. He dropped the soap, I think, and the chef's just gone right past him. So that is a cracking result there, but he's hounding the back end again. Cook is just absolutely singing to the high heavens here. He's got one of the quickest men on track right behind him, and then you've got a 4-way battle. So what is Fallon doing? Is he just trying to see to him bide his time, use that braking advantage he does have in that Mercedes-Benz, or is he just thinking about the long game here with 29 minutes left to 19 minutes left to go in this one, and he's got a very, very angry pack of cars coming his way. Look at that timing tower, ladies and gentlemen. It is as orange as a bloody orange farm, I'm telling you right now, between 4th all the way down to 7th and 8th, in fact, because they're all about to take whatever crumbs are spilt off there like a Labrador sitting at the table, just picking those crumbs off, and Fallon's sending it down to the inside. No, he's not, but I'll tell you what, I think Cook's just overcooked it a little bit. No, he hasn't, in fact. He's just sent it there. The drive-through is under pressure, but he's just coming to grips here. Fallon is 100% racing hard. That Mercedes-Benz has got more body language than bloody, I don't know, Michael Jackson, for Christ's sake. He's just going for it. Is Eccleston too. So we're seeing a little bit of a now, just that half breather at 3/10 of racing, ladies and gentlemen. You think this is a breather. Fallon's going up the inside. He's no breath at the moment. Oh, they nearly bumped doors, and the bumpers come off Fallon's car. Oh, no. Big moment here. Eccleston's gone up the inside, taken 4th off the chef. Or has he for now? We're seeing what they're going through. No Munro's left on that front end of the Mercedes-Benz, however, and they've got a Porsche in the background there of Furby injecting himself. Cairns is sitting there. Rogers just having an absolute erection watching this in front of him unfold. And I'm telling you now, this is hot like property on the old real estate department. Get your votes in, get your bloody purses out, ladies and gentlemen, to be paying for this stuff. I'm telling you right now, you should be paying billions for this action. Yeah, you know, people crap on about watching the F1 and stuff like that. You don't get action like that in F1 or even the old Bathurst 1000 on the weekend. It was a nice little wasted 6 hours, I tell you what. Just tune in for the last half an hour and enjoy yourself. But up here, it's all happening. Look at this. Fallon has gotten past Cook, but he's not dropped him at all. Eccleston's right there, poised to strike, right up under the rear wing of the McDonald's man. He's going to look for the old Hamburglar up the inside here at turn 2. Just on the rear quarter panel here at the moment, giving him a little bit of a paint swapping idea. No bumpers flying off into the universe either this time, but they keep it nice and mean and clean. Cairns, however, is right up on the back of Ferber, who's just dropped half a second. And in this, like the battle stakes that these guys have been doing, half a second seems like an eternity. But here goes Cook now, looking up the inside of Fallon. Fallon giving him plenty of room. Now they go side by side. Look at that, Eccleston right up in there. There's nowhere for him to go. Looking left and right, but the circuit only allows 2 cars in that little section to go side by side. Now they're going to go Noah's Ark style 2 by 2. Here comes Cook up the inside of Fallon through the S's. This is exciting stuff. Wowee. Don't worry about your girlfriends or your missos, ladies and gentlemen, because they're not getting shown on screen here at Sensational TV. It's all racing action here, and they're going for it. Absolutely singing to the high heavens. Fallon's just under brakes there, just moved from the chef there, noses himself in. Beautiful car control from both of them. The chef's out the other side cleaner, though, so is Fallon. So another Noah's Ark proceedings right here at the moment. Fallon's just stuck at fat around the outside, and now they're 2 by 2 again. I'll tell you, Eccleston's just getting an absolute hard-on looking at this racing going. Right now, he's got a suck battle. He's got, in fact, an overlap, in fact, on poor old Fallon there. The criminal's just dishing out moves left, right and centre here at the moment like a smooth one. He's sending it around the outside into turn 1. Surely not. The chef's just going to stick a fat up the inside. Eccleston. And now Fallon's under threat because here comes Eccleston. He's going for it. And now they're thinking about it into turn 2. No, they're all single file. Oh, geez, you get the heart rate up there, the old vocal cords, and the lung capacity just starts to get tested when you're calling action like this. And they are racing for sheep stations here, ladies and gentlemen. gentlemen. Here comes a good run at the back here, though, from Furby. He's got a belter on Eccleston. Eccleston's defending that in the background. Fallon's attacking. Oh, what are you looking at? And here comes a big, fat Rogers. Get out of here, mate. The erection's right up there, too. He's poking his his vermilion tip kidney prodder in any direction he can possibly think of and just going for it here. The Castrol Mustang absolutely right up there, just doing a way better impression of Thomas Randall. I'll give you the hot tip is the erection.
yeah, sticking it in hard and fast, as we've seen. That's the way we like it, folks. But look at this, up the front, the Cook going into defensive mode again. We saw that in the first race where he seemed to hold off everyone. And now Fallon, big dip up the inside at MG, probably a bit too deep. There he goes, and Eccleston's going to try and take advantage of that too. But Fallon just getting back out onto the racing line just in time too. But now he's in big trouble here because the Mustang, the OP Mustang, is right up under the rear wing here too. Through the final turn onto the Gardner Straight, and he's already got the overlap, folks. Let's go to the chopper cam and see. He has just got a slight overlap, but Fallon has got the correct side. Look at this. Cookie just backing him up as well. Beautiful move there from Cook. Backed him up the old Oscar Piastri style when trying to redress. That was a fantastic manoeuvre. Says, I'd rather battle Eccleston than you, son, and it gives him a little bit of a shunt as well. You don't want to see that, but all is well. They all play on. No tears spilled as well. Now they're going three wide through this little section here, through Casey Stoner corner. This is like MotoGP racing, dead set, but they're on 4 wheels instead of 2.
Here comes Rogers, by the way, just putting himself into 6th place doing that Castrol Mustang. He's come out like an absolute demon here in race 2. Don't know where he's been all night. He's just showing us how to do it. Goodness gracious me, Fallon's under all sorts here because Eccleston's right side by side again. If he could just stick it there without giving up the overlap, which he does. Oh, geez. I was going to say 2 by 2 over the sweeper here. That would have been insane to watch. But they go on, play on, says the umpire, and they're having a good old tussle there. Still happy at the moment is Eccleston. No, he doesn't get that job done. Fallon is right there thinking about a move again to set up on the chef. There was great defensive driving from the chef, just braked a little bit later mid-corner, held everyone up, and it nearly came to a proper there for Eccleston. He just yeeted himself back out of this event, so it could be on here in the next 2 laps once again. The chef is holding station at the McDonald's drive-thru. I'll give you the hot tip. He's cooking, he's taking orders, and I'm telling you what, he's dishing out tickets to the chef show because he's holding these boys up beautifully here in race 2. And look at Fallon just trying to send it any which way. In fact, he's got a good opportunity coming his way if he can stick it into turn 3 here, double apex this one and get the other side out of it. Goodness gracious me. What are we going to see between these two? Can they get the job done? I think Fallon's got half a run here. Yes, he's nosing it to the inside as well. He's right on the rear bumper, sending it onto the dirt and then back in again and then back out again. Goodness me. What are you doing there, criminal? Well, he's got the job done on the chef. The chef is still fighting this one tooth and nail, Doc and style. But boy, oh boy, has he lost that one. That is a clean move there from Fallon. Hard and fast racing, no contact involved. Fallon's just given up the ghost though because the chef's just started down the inside again. And then incredibly, Eccleston's still in this one, ladies and gentlemen. He's still sticking it on the back end of Fallon. The battling that you have here, ladies and gentlemen, is just inviting 7 or 8 people to the old party and they're just getting themselves in for free. No bouncers, no worries. Get yourselves in on this one. 3rd place on like absolute Donkey Kong.
Oh, I tell you what, put the old car keys into the fishbowl, folks, because you can't have any more fun at a party than that. I'll tell you what, these guys are absolutely impressing the shit out of me at the moment. After a bit of a rusty start here in race 2, these guys have come through with the goods, and they are all battling sheep stations here at the moment. Look at this. Eccleston does now have the run on Fallon. They're going to go side by side just about. He's got about half a car's length there up the outside there in overlap, and Cook's going to try and back him up again. Beautiful stuff there, but a little bit of a shunt there from Fallon. Oh no, Eccleston's off the road, gets it back on just in time, but Ferber just has to do a little bit of a sidestep, and he's sacrificed his own race just to get out of it. But that back here as well, Cairns giving Ash Rogers a fair old bloody giggle as well. It's all happening, but at the front, this is the battle for P3, ladies and gentlemen. We can't take our eyes off it at the moment because Fallon just is attacking like I don't know the British Empire back in the day. I'm dead set. It's all bloody happening.
He's driving like a man possessed. Is a criminal in 4th place. You got the chef there having a good old battle himself. Defensive driving 101, says Jesse Marshall in the chat. Couldn't agree more about this one from the chef, bruh. He's absolutely flying here. But tell you what, Fallon is right on his clacker once again. I think he maybe tried to dummy the old chef into a move there, which he's got the overlap. Has he got the momentum? Oh boy, into the old Miller corner. I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, Fallon is just on a mission. He just knows he has to get past. It's so long between second anyway. They're just fighting over third like it's their own race and race win. It's just an absolute country mile in this race between those three. But at the moment, you can you can't take your eyes off this battle, if I can speak properly. And instant replay here. Oh no, what's happened to Beef and Bacon? Get stuffed there, Cowham. You've given up the ghost. Unfortunately, that is disaster for you, my friend. And inheriting the lead is Dan Smith. He's going to take 2 by 2 here for sure. And the Beef and Baconator, where has he ended up in the grand scheme of things after that one? Still in 2nd place, but Fallon is right there on the replay structure. It's still going here. Has something happened? I hope not.
Yeah, it has. I can't get back to live, folks. Oh no, we'll do this. And maybe we'll get back to some sort of live action here. Nope, we'll be back in just a... Oh, well, you just keep talking while I was trying to reset this live timing device. It keeps giving us the old Tijuana to steal your thunder there for a little bit. Where's the... Oh, my God, where's the app? Live timing. Come on!
Come on, do the locomotion, as they say. But geez, doesn't matter. We're just watching replays of people doing absolutely nothing, which is fine because it means you're still getting racing action. We've got sunglasses on the screen here, and he's having a good old time there. We've got the timer tower up. We're back on live. There is the leader at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, no, what's happened here? It's gone back again. Goodness gracious me. We're back. We're live. Okay, we're set and racing here again in the Melbourne Cup. I'll give you the hot tip. Look at the chef. He is still there. Absolutely giving McDonald something to shout out and be proud of. His front bumper's looking a little bit bent there too, in fact. So a little bit of damage there on the front, which is hurting him down this front straightaway just by a whisker. But here comes Fallon and Eccleston too. I don't think the chef's got any answers right now. Fallon just checks up again mid-corner on the entrance of turn 1. That just had to check Eccleston up too. So a little bit of two-way driving, attacking and defending at the same time from the criminal in 4th place. Eccleston just got a beautiful set of downforce settings on that Mustang. I'll give you the hot tip. That thing's got more grip mid-corner than any of them, but it's still driving 3 by 3. This is happening here. We've got it live on your screen. The timing tower's back on.
Yes.
And Christopher Munro, we've only got about 6 minutes to go. And look at Eccleston. Oh, please don't make contact. The chef's made contact as well. Oh, I think Eccleston just muscled his way through on Fallon there. Looked like a little bit of a jolt to the left there. Fallon won't be happy, but he's pressing the issue at the moment. Is Eccleston just dishing out hundreds. Left, right, and centre is the billionaire. And now he's got the chef as his next target. The chef will be thinking, crikeys, I've just figured out how to defend from Fallon. Now I've got to defend from this absolute madman on the circuit behind me. And Eccleston, what is he going to do? Just overlap into the corner, try to stick it back out the other side. Is Fallon going to try and make a move there? No, defensive goes Eccleston on Fallon, so he's got no choice but to swing back to the right-hand side, get himself in, go for it again. Greg Cook, eat your absolute heart out here, mate. You are driving like a man on a mission.
Yep.
Like in fact, I think you've got one of the models just waiting for you at the pit exit at the end of the race.
Yeah, exactly. They've got the F1 Sky team just with cameras all focused on her at the moment. Don't worry about the racing. Let's get the old models on the screen according to Sky Sports. But look at this. Fallon around the outside looking at Eccleston. Eccleston just had the inside run there. It's pretty hard to get that job done around the outside. But I'll tell you what, it's good to see Eccleston up there in the pointy end of the circuit because we've seen in the last couple of races him starting from the back and just making up about 20 positions over the course of the race. Now he gets to actually put the old foot to the floor and have a little battle with the guys that are on his pace level. And look at this, Cook just placing the car beautifully. Doesn't go full defensive and doesn't compromise his exit in any way, but just gives the body language to the guy behind him and says, you know what, I'm just going to place my car here, maybe 2 or 3 car lengths off the inside, so it still can get the traction down in that Porsche and hold him at bay, and he's done so as well. Like, he's had this position down as well, managed to retake it, and here he is again, sitting in P3, and there is no one more deserved of that position here at the moment. I'll tell you what, driving like Alonso Lion style, and look at that weaving across the track there from Fallon, but he's just binned it out the, well, not binned it, he's gone a little bit wide out the bottom of MG there, but he'll come back. We've still got 5 minutes to go, and these guys are not finished yet, I'll tell you what.
Nah, not at all. There is not a centimetre left in the circuit for these guys to battle on. They've used every single part of the racetrack, and looks like Eccleston's got a beautiful run here. That Mustang is so quick mid-corner and on the straight as well. Seems to be OP at the moment, but he's trying to stick a fat around the outside, and he does so. Oh, the chef's going to give up P3. I don't think he's going to give it up too easily, though. However, Macca's drive-through just under the pump here, but Eccleston's just stuck in mid-corner. Got the job done easy as you like. Chef has put up the fight of his life, but he's coming right back at him. Don't you worry about that. Up the inside he goes. He's going to be on the outside for the important braking zone coming up. Don't you worry about it. But here's Eccleston. Can he get the job done? Who's last on the brakes? Into the left hand, right hander coming up. It's Eccleston. There are they too. Oh, geez, this is cracking racing. Fallon's back involved in this one. The chef's going to go for a switchback move. He's not on at the moment. He's too far back. But Eccleston's inherited himself back into P3. Oh, and a bit of a Morse code bumping there too. Diffuser to bumper style. Boy, oh boy, if a Porsche and a Mustang come together, I think they're going to make some sort of, I don't know, bloody a hybrid between a front and a rear engine car, and just come out the other side making babies. But Fallon doesn't care about that. He just wants another P4 or a P3 at least to be in the championship hump over Dan Smith out in front. But he's having to put up a big old fat battle here. Defensive and manoeuvring too. Look at that. Just straight up the inside. Oh, the chef's just gone from bad to worse. He couldn't do any more than what he's done. He's just impressed the hell out of me as a chef. But it's Fallon out in front of him, and also Eccleston 3 and 4 with only 2 laps to go, I reckon, left in this race. Is it going to fire up once again? No, the white flag is out, so this is the last lap.
Yeah, final lap, folks, and these guys now enjoying the biggest gap they have this time around. But Bradley Cairns now finally getting the run on Rogers. He will jump up into 8th position now as well. Up the front, it is Dan Smith enjoying an 8-second lead, just going a little bit wide there as well, but it doesn't matter too much because he's a 12-second lead, should I say. He's going to take the old clean sweep here today, folks. Pole in the qualifying session, race win in number 1, and it's going to be 2 from 2 in the old race wins department here for Dan Smith. We've got someone in the chat there as well saying, who was it? I'm going to scroll up there. Only Duffies. So the Duff Man's chimed in on the old chat saying that the Smitho's been practicing till 3 a.m. Saturday morning has paid off. It certainly has, folks, because he's coming around the final turn now to make it 2 out of 2 and really cement his place as the leader of this championship. Dan Smith crosses the line now, takes the checkered flag in not only this one but the last one as well. Beautiful driving from him. We're going to cross back to this little battle here because Luke Fallon is right up the arse of Eccleston here for P3.
Yep, cracking racing here. It's all over by the shouting. I think Eccleston's going to take this one easily for 3rd place. Fallon's going to have to settle for 4th. Bit of a championship battle there, and the gap now inherited a little bit more extended for Dan Smith. Fallon gets 4th. 5th place for the chef, who put up the absolute defensive driving masterclass of this year. I'm telling you, I've never seen, in all the streams we've done, driver of the day worthy for sure is the chef. He had it all to race for, and I'll tell you what, that was some sort of heroic lioness defending, as you said, Christopher, from that man on your screen. Hats off to you, mate. Well done for that one. And Budgie gets 6th place. We'll go back through further through the grid. Speaking of Fur, here's Ferber in 7th place. The old can of Coke in 8th place. The erection in 9th place. Smith, the second, gets 10th to round out the top 10. We've got Green, Justice, Coelho got a 13th place. Junior Hamilton in 14th. Fowler 15th. Georgeson in 16th. Now the Bell comes across the line just about now next to him in 17th place. There's Lachlan Bell right there. In fact, he's coming across the line in that 17th place on the green. Clark is going to cross the line in 18th position, barring an absolute disaster. There he is, around in the final turn. We're 19th for the Wizard, who just couldn't get the spells down. Had a bit of carnage early in that one, but that's okay. Ram Jam's come through and taken it. Brittingham, the British pig, in fact, gets 20th, and he is the third last of the finishers with Glisson. and White rounding out the grid. Everyone else DNF. That is Kingy, Price, Burke, and etc.
etc., etc., etc. All these guys, what an absolute cracking little battle. I'm going to drag Eccleston and Fallon into the chat right now if I have the permissions. I do not. What about that? I thought I did. Anyway, they're going to have to join on their own accord if they are watching. If not, we're going to have to just wrap it up. But I tell you what, let's bring the race results up because I know how to do it now. Look, Heat 2 feature race. Ready? Feature results. Look at that. Everyone at home. Dan Smith, Colby Cowham, and Jared Eccleston are your top three. Top three, everyone there. Oh, look at Lindsay Muddles joined in. He needs a set. Same as last week, Lindsay.
I've got him.
Yep, same as last week. Tell him. Sorry, Lindsay. Fuck. It's all been happening today, ladies and gentlemen. Last week of university, and got plenty of shit on. But tell you what, we do have Jared Eccleston in the chat as well. Mate, hats off to you, and hats off to that whole little group there that was battling hard. The chef, Cook was in there. We had Fallon, Eccleston, yourself as well, Ferber, Cairns, Rogers as well. That was one of the best, one of the best long-term battles we've seen in such a long time. It looked like a lot of fun. I'm sure it was as well in your seat, but probably a little bit more sweaty.
Right now. But yeah, like I was just thinking that to myself as we were going out. I was like, man, this is heaps of fun. There was obviously one little boo-boo there where somebody got pushed off at the loop, and I feel kind of bad for that. But I feel like there was another car there still, so I'll have to go back and look at that. But apologies to that guy. But no, I definitely had heaps of fun. That was probably the best battle I've had in my iRacing journey so far, so hats off to the boys.
Oh, mate, that was the best battle we've called for quite some time as well, Zach O'Reilly. That was something to behold.
Yeah, that was absolutely on like Donkey Kong in the end. I've switched to the other mic. Sorry if it's a bit worse.
That's all right.
Quality there, but it's credit to you, Kristen, because tell you what, with the bit of encouragement there in the Discord chat, just eyeing off your old partner there in Bryn, it's given you a bit of something to motivate you to get yourselves around, and it's been good to see, mate. Cracking result, and with all that carnage going on in race 2, surprised you came out of it in the end looking very, very racy indeed, as you were, and just took the opportunity while the iron strikes hot, as I would say. Did you have any setups given to you in the Mustang from everyone else in front, or is it just a bit of a as your own sort of thing?
No, if you actually want to know, there were no setups for the GT3s for Phillip Island this season, or for anything after the recent tyre change. So I actually just used the Apex Racing Academy Catalunya set.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
See, I told you it had a bit of...
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
I feel like it was really good out of the corners. Like, I could get a decent exit out of the last corner going onto the back straight, and so I could always get the run on them. And also, I didn't have to use the brakes going into turn 1. I could just lift and it would point. So, hats off to Apex. They don't sponsor me or anything, but they make some incredible setups. I've been using them for a while.
Well, there you go.
Absolutely awesome. Go and get yourself some.
Yeah, there you go, Apex Racing. If you want to get on board and get your signage on the side of that that Mustang, Jared Eccleston in the Discord, get amongst him. Now, the hot question on everyone's lips here at Sensational TV. There's a hell of a lot of GT3 Mustangs in the server. Is there an advantage to that car? Is it OP in the old terms?
It feels strong, like
does.
really strong.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was interesting because when the car came out initially, I didn't really like it that much. And I decided to give it a spin for the race for the Cure. And I was like a full second faster around Lime Rock in that than anything else. So I was just like, I'll drive this. It feels really strong. It points well. It has good grip out of the exits.
Yeah.
Like, it's just an awesome car.
Yeah, nice. Mustang doing Mustang things, Zach O'Reilly. Pity the Gen 3s can't take a trick from that one.
No, well, they haven't got anything, mate. They've got no traction control. They've got no downforce. They've got no grip. No ABS. So maybe something to think about for the future for them. But well done, Jared. That was a barnstormer, mate. Really enjoyed seeing you up there. And I think we know the secret to the sauce. We'll just post a photo of your misso, and that gets you going, mate. It's all good. So thank you again, mate. And well done. That'll give you some sort of points boost in the championship for next round.
Thanks, gentlemen. You guys have a good night, eh?
No
Cheers,
worries,
everyone.
mate. Thank you
Cheers,
very much. And cheers to BZ for the super chat there as well. A big tenner there from him. Cracking call, boys. Sensational stuff. He's getting the lingo. We're getting behind him as well. Hopefully we see him out on track tomorrow night in the Wednesday Cup. And I'll tell you what, Zachary, hopefully a few of those Wednesday Cup drivers were watching that little exchange there in race 2, because that's how you go racing.
It was cracking stuff. It was really nice to see that the boys can do it hard and forced, as you say, and keep it clean at the same time. So a little bit of something to think about in the racecraft department there for anyone watching at home. If you are a racer, that's how you do it. You just get up the inside, don't outbreak yourself, use your talent to its maximum, but don't ever go over that one. I know it's an easy thing to do, but it's something that you just got to get in your brains. The next round, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of getting in your brains, is an hour. It's an hour special at Daytona. Holy mackerel, the inner circuit there, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be a rip snorter there at the next round here next week, in fact, on Tuesday, for the Aussie Sim Racing GT3 Series calendar. And you can see the rest of the calendar there is an absolute belter. Spa, Zandvoort, Sandown, Le Mans at night, Red Bull Ring as well, and then off to Shell V-Power Motorsport Park for the end of the series. So you like what you're seeing, boy oh boy, is it something to get back into and get your chairs set, get the Canara on, get the air conditioner on if you're in a hot part of the world, and join us here at Sensational TV for Aussie Sim Racing's GT3 Challenge. But I think that's it for us here tonight. We are ready to rock and roll. Go and join Lindsay Muddle at Fargon Racing at Seto Corsa Competizione. It's on right now. They're racing around in, looks like Porsches at the moment, going around there too for Fargon Racing's GT Challenge at Zolder. But for us here at Sensational TV, been a pleasure to be in the box with you tonight. Christopher Munro, as always, the legend, the man, the myth, the mudflap haircut himself. Some say he cuts his fringe with a spirit level and a straight laser light.
Stanley knife,
straight. And a Stanley knife too, just for extra precision. I've been Zach O'Reilly, though. You guess what? You're not. Thank you very much for joining in. This has been a Sensational TV broadcast brought to you by one Christopher Munro and Zach O'Reilly. Until next time, though, ladies and gentlemen, at Lindsay Muddle's stream or till Wednesday night in the Wednesday Cup, keep it flat out.
Sensational TV YouTube channel. Don't fucking miss it.